Okay, so ideas. So a few things about this process, ideas to success. You've got to remember all about it. It's all about the process because the process is going to bring clarity and the clarity is going to bring you success and progress. Okay. But you cannot harvest what you do not sow. It would be lots of people want to come up with an idea and then run with it. And that can happen sometimes and it can work sometimes. And sometimes it's even necessary. But that's very rare. And when that happens repeatedly in organizations, you end up with chaos. This process is not necessarily easy, but it will save you so much time in the long run. Because as you walk through this process, it is incredibly common for the idea to get better. It expands. You think, oh, yeah, we could maybe do this too. Or, okay, that's a bad idea. And you take it off. But it'll, the idea will get better just by walking through the process. And at some point, and maybe more than half the time, you'll come to the conclusion, oh, this isn't such a great idea, or it's not worth it, or we can't afford it, or whatever it may be. But it saves you from going out and actually starting to do it and then running into the problem. It helps you think it out. And then when it's clear, you can get other people's help on it. And other people will back you up and getting approval on it. And approval's a big deal. You know, people have to approve things anyways. You might as well know ahead of time whose approval you're going to have to get and what that's going to take. And they have to have a standard. You know, it can't be like a good old buddy system where I'm going to approve this person's because I like them and not that person's or anything along those lines. By following the process, people will be treated and their ideas will be treated on their merit. So that's why you do it. We have a tendency, we want to make things easy, and I understand that. And I try to make things easy too. And sometimes I try way too hard because we cannot make things ineffective for the sake of making them easy, which has happened all too often. All right. So there's some steps to this um, preparation process that brings an idea. An idea usually becomes an initiative and then it's a success when it's completed, or some initiatives are never actually completed when they hit their goal and the goal is moved or something like that. But we first look at who does this affect and why are we doing it? If you can't come up with a convincing why, don't do it. All right. Then we clearly describe success because we have to know when to have the party. And there's an amazing thing about when you clearly describe success, then when you go to actually planning it, you start with success and you say, what has to happen right before this in order for that to happen? And you keep backing going backwards and you'll end up with a much better plan and you'll also be able to get the timing right on it much more accurately. Okay. So anyways, you can read these, but it's basically, let's describe success. Let's come up with a strategy for success. Figure out if we can afford it. What are the resources? And by resources, we don't just mean money. And, who's got to be involved, and clarify those expectations with people so nobody's surprised by what's expected of them. And then run it past some other people, get their opinion. Does it align with the focus plan? And then start creating your milestones and tasks. All right, this process, and people will resist it when they first look at it, you'll be like, wow, that's a lot. It's not. Okay, it's not that hard. Just take it one step at a time, and the system will walk you right through it. And I'll show you that in a little bit. But this rigorous planning will save you so much in the long run. You'll be so much more successful because you're not pursuing bad ideas and you're not going to fall short on the good ideas. Okay, so now we're just going to do a walkthrough on it. I'm going to go to, this is the ideas tab. Now don't be overwhelmed by this. Another time we'll take you through what all these things mean in this grid. It's, again, not as bad as you may think, but we're just going to create an idea so you can see what this And I'm not going to go through every step because once you get the idea, you'll see, get the idea, yeah. Um, you'll see that the system will walk you through it and you just keep walking and you'll be fine. All right, so first you have to set it up. And you'll notice on every step, there's this little yellow button again. And if you click that, you're going to get a video about completing that step. And just do it one at a time, and that will make all the difference in the world. All right. So just click the videos. In the setup, we're going to, this is an idea. We'll say it's linked to some other idea, an email campaign project. That's not really a very good example, but we'll say it is. And our project name is, well, we'll just call it test idea. All right. And now it could have a due date, but we're not, let's say they don't all have to. Now, here's the thing. There are these sections that align with all the different steps, and you can choose to go to any one you want, which helps you once you have it filled out, it helps you go make edits and things like that. If you just leave it alone, it'll take you to the very next step. So you hit submit, it saves that, and then it'll go on to the next step. And again, whenever I'm recording a video, it makes the computer slower, and I apologize. It will not be this slow for you, but give it a chance to render here. Okay, so this is the leadership. Again, this will tell you what that means, but it has me because I'm running it in all the different leadership positions, which is not realistic. The leader is the person who's generally is, has to approve it. I would say the highest level person who must approve something before it can get started. And the keeper would be an aide, and maybe there's a couple of you working together on this, and that'll help you through it. All right. I don't know why that didn't go on to the next step, but now if we say, why is this important? And in here is where we would remunerate. Okay, we would put in here, why is this important? And ideally, you have other examples of projects and things like and ideas in there that you can look at to see how these things should be filled out. It's not that complex, and but everyone has this yellow button, and it will, you just keep filling it out. And you save it, and the next one is describe success, and it'll walk you right through this. Okay, now we're going to skip ahead, and I am going to say, oh, I'm all done. And when you do, it'll refresh the previous screen. It'll close this window, refresh the previous screen, and then you'll see that we'll have this new idea will be in there, and test ID, it's about halfway down. It's right here. Okay. And I'll go over these, what all these things mean on this page soon, but just know setting up an idea is not that difficult, but it's incredibly important to go through those steps. You do it a few times and you'll come to realize how incredibly powerful it is.